Okay, hi everybody. Uh, Word of warning, I have a little bit of a tickle in my throat today, so I might... If I start coughing, I apologize. Alright, so today, I've... This could be a problem. Today, I believe that we left off last time by getting the enhanced dwarven crossbow. Right, so we did. Okay, alright, with that in mind, I think it's actually time to go and do a little bit of the main quest. Been putting that off for a while. There's a couple of things that we can do in Iverstead, which is currently... I'm sorry. Could have sworn that we were just here. I'm just gonna leave, actually. There's no reason to deal with this. Sorana, it seems, disagrees. She kinda does her own thing. I suppose that's part of the charm. Doesn't look like a wolf. Looks like we're just starting today firing on all cylinders. If I go silent for a long period of time, it's probably because I'm in the middle of a coughing jag. I mean, I think I'm fine. I think it's just a combination of allergies and this guy's carrying a skill book. That's irregular. I think it's just a combination. A combination of allergies and I think some water went down the wrong pipe earlier, so I'm just sort of coughing. I'm fine, mostly, probably. So this is the town of Iverstead. We actually got the... thank you.
Well done, companion.
We actually had the quest to go here way back when we did Dragon Rising and Whiterun.
Hadlek killed, Yorvas got attacked. How could this happen within the walls of White?
Pilgrim, if I were you, I'd move right through our backwards little town.
Okay.
On your way up the 7,000 steps again, Klimek?
Not today. I'm just not ready to make the climb to High Hrothgar. The path isn't safe.
Aren't the Greybeards expecting some supplies?
Honestly, I'm not certain. I've yet to be allowed into the monastery. Perhaps one day.
I've never seen leaves this color.
Passing through on your way to High Hrothgar? About to make a delivery up there myself. Mostly food supplies like dried fish and salted meats. You know, things that keep fresh for a long time. The Greybeards tend not to get out much. Well, it's kind of an understanding between us. I mean, it just wouldn't feel right to charge them for a bit of preserved food. Trouble is, my legs aren't what they used to be, and climbing the 7,000 steps takes its toll. Really? Well, that would be kind of you. Here, take this bag of supplies. At the top of the steps, you'll see the offering chest. Just leave the bag inside, and you're done. Well, there's the occasional wolf pack or stray, but that's all I've ever had to deal with. Shouldn't be a problem for the likes of you. Other than that, watch your footing. In these wintry conditions, the stairs can be treacherous. Be careful up there.
So there's no reason, like whatsoever, to not take that quest, since you need to go up there anyway. You just drop the supplies off in a chest at the foot of the monastery and you're done. You just go back and talk to him and you get a bunch of gold for basically no effort.
I'm a fan of the sun. It would be better than this.
Couple of other things.
You lost? If you ever settle down to have children, think twice before you do it.
Are you the one sent by Mara? My parents are being impossible. Bassianus wants to marry me, and I think I love him. But he wants to move to Riften afterwards, and my father won't allow it. He only cares about this stupid town. But Bassianus makes me happier than anyone ever has. My mother's not any help either. Oh, thank you so much. It's wonderful to have someone around who understands.
You must be another pilgrim on the way up to High Hrothgar. No other reason to pass through here.
Oh yeah, I have wheat to sell.
Oh my. Probably something about the men. We all wish we had her problems. I don't tell my husband. But I don't have any problem with Bassianus. Even if it means her leaving Iverstead. I want Fastred to be happy. If they just snuck out of town together, I could manage my husband. Bassianus is still so terrified of Yofthor. If he knew that I'd keep him from hunting the poor boy down, he'd take Fastred to Riften without a second thought. Let him know that I'll watch out for them. I just want my daughter to be happy. Sure, leave. Everyone else does.
My daughter's driving me crazy. I'm sure I know what this is about. She thinks she's in love with Bassianus and wants to leave town. With him. Let me tell you how I see it. Until a few months ago, the girl was head over heels for Clement. Wouldn't stop talking about him. Now, if I thought
Serana, no!
Bassianus, that would be one thing. But she's a child. It will pass. Look around here. There's not much left. Used to be a good-sized town. The folks have been moving to Riften for a while now. If all the young people leave, what happens to Iverson? You know how children are. Her fancies change with the moon.
Stop it!
And like always, the boy lacks any kind of spine. He needs some convincing. A little push and this would all be simpler. Just get out of town as fast as you can. Nothing for anyone here.
I'm getting some mixed messages from these people about whether or not I should stay or go. But we have a bit of a choice to make. We can either talk to Bassianus or we can talk to Klimek. There doesn't really seem to be a right or wrong choice here.
The killing of your honored leader. You have my sympathies, companion.
Fastred will be happy pretty much no matter what we do.
Let's get indoors. In a cave. Anywhere, just out of this.
I wish I could make my deliveries more often, but the road's getting dangerous.
You can find Bassianus in the tavern. And of course, Klimek's just kind of hanging around. We don't need to make our decision right this instant.
This must be that beautiful Skyrim weather I've always heard about.
There's a couple of other things that we can do in Iverstead that are of note. It's somewhat more happening than most other small towns in the game.
If I were you, I'd keep away from the barrow on the east side of town. It's haunted. There ain't much more to tell. They're haunted, and you should stay away. Look, I've seen one of the spirits with my very own eyes. When it glared at me, I swear it burned right through my soul. Fortunately, they seem to be sticking to the barrow. I think they're guarding it. Certainly isn't helping my business any. Who'd want to rent a room anywhere near a haunted barrow? If you think there's anything you can do, be my guest. About a year or two ago, some fella named Windelius came through. Said he was some kind of a treasure hunter. I warned him not to go in there, just like I warned you. The very next night we heard screams from the barrow, and that was it. We never saw him again. If you pass through again, stop by for a drink.
There are actually two nearby barrows here, and they're both part of quests. Shroud Hearth Barrow is the one up here, I believe. I think that's the name. Did I remember that right? Yes. Yes, I did. Okay. Good.
Nordic ruins, even older than I am. I wonder if the Draugr are as gullible as they were when I was a girl.
For now, though, let's go ahead and do what we came for and go up to High Hrothgar. I would actually recommend doing this quite a bit earlier than I have. As I mentioned the last time, I was sort of in the middle of doing some science about certain crossbow things. But we learned that it doesn't matter whether or not the Stolsheim quests are started. You can still get Stolsheim locations for crossbow parts, and that's annoying. There's sort of a route that I usually take when I go to Iverstead from Whiterun. It's sort of got its own unique character to it. Of course, we skipped that entirely this time because I was off fucking around with the Dawn Guard, but you know. Anyway, the 7,000 steps, as they are called, I'm not actually sure that there are nearly that many steps. Might be, if you, like, count each one. It's sort of like a mini dungeon in and of itself.
Keep an eye out for wolves if you're headed up the path to High Hrothgar. I did. Strange days when the monks will do that. I wonder what it means. I like to spend time up here. Walk the steps. Meditate on the emblems. Doesn't hurt when I bag some game along the way. They're not the sort to take visitors. But I never go that high up the path anyway. Some folk who make the trip leave them food or other essentials. But not to make conversation.
So the thing about these tablets is, if you read all 10 of them, you actually get a buff for a while. It's reasonably useful, so it's worth it to just take the time to read them while you're here. It also provides some backstory to, sort of the ancient history of the region. You'll find a couple of enemies up along the path. They're usually geared so that even low-level players can take them down fairly easily, but there is one exception later on that can provide a bit of a roadblock. I am a bit high level, so we're running into ice wraiths instead of the usual wolves.
Who's there?
I don't know who's there. It's a mystery.
Keep an eye out for wolves. If you're headed up the path to Hyrule... Yes? I was just outside Iverstead when it happened. It's an exciting moment. Nothing like this has happened in centuries. Just a pilgrim. I'd prefer to leave it at that, if you don't mind. Walking the steps, meditating on the emblems. I make this trip every few years.
There's nothing else really of note about the NPCs that you find along the way here. They're just doing their thing, making a pilgrimage. High Hrothgar is sort of a Nord holy site. Now, up along this path, you will probably find your first frost troll of the game. If you do this early enough, this can basically be a mini boss fight. If he would consent, yes, thank you. We dealt with some of these guys earlier in Labyrinthian, so they're not as much of a threat, especially just one. Like, there were like 3 trolls at once at one point during that Labyrinthian run. That was a little scary. Trolls of all kind are weak to fire, because fire blunts their regeneration abilities. With strong enough weapons, it doesn't really matter either way, but especially if you go here early, it helps to bring out your fire spell. Everybody starts with flames. There are a couple of references to events outside of Skyrim on these tablets, such as the disastrous battle at Red Mountain. This is when... Were they the Dunmer at that point? My lore is not very strong. Either the Dunmer or the elves who had become the Dunmer defeated them at Red Mountain. Or was it the dwarves? Maybe it was both. But the Nords got beat, and their leader, Jurgen Windcaller, decided to rethink his overall approach to life. The mountain that we're on is called the Throat of the World, because the ancient Nord believed that this is basically the source of all the world's winds and its spirit. Because it's like one of the highest mountains ever. Tiber Septim was probably the most famous emperor of the empire. Empire. Bleh. He was also a Dragonborn. I'm not sure if that was something introduced in this game, or if that was known beforehand. Anyway, by reading all 10 tablets, we get the Voice of the Sky buff. It lasts for 24 hours, and it means that animals will neither attack you nor flee from you. Anyway, we just shoved clinic supplies into the chest, and we're done with that quest. Like I said, 0 effort, no reason not to do it. It's free gold. It's free real estate.
So, a Dragonborn appears at this moment in the turning of the age. We will see if you truly have the gift. Show us, Dragonborn. Let us taste of your voice. Strike us with the power of your voice. Dragonborn, it is you. Welcome to High Hrothgar. I am Master Arngir. I speak for the Greybeards. Now, tell me, Dragonborn, why have you come here? We are honored to welcome a Dragonborn to High Hrothgar. We will do our best to teach you how to use your gift in fulfillment of your destiny.
A reasonable question.
We can show you the way, but not your destination. We are the Greybeards, followers of the Way of the Voice. You stand in High Hrothgar, the slopes of Kinnarith's sacred mountain. Here we commune with the voice of the sky and strive to achieve balance between our inner and outer selves. You have shown that you are Dragonborn. You have the inborn gift. But do you have the discipline and temperament to follow the path laid out for you? That remains to be seen. Without training, you have already taken the first steps towards projecting your voice into a thum, a shout. Now let us see if you are willing and able to learn. When you shout, you speak in the language of dragons. Thus, your dragon blood gives you an inborn ability to learn words of power. All shouts are made up of 3 words of power. As you master each word, your shout will become progressively stronger. Master Einarth will now teach you Ro, the second word in Unrelenting Force. Ro means balance in the dragon tongue. Combine it with Fus, force, to focus your thumb more sharply. Ro.
This whole sequence basically serves as a tutorial of how the voice and shouting works.
You learn a new word and become master. You truly do have a gift. But learning a word of power is only the first step. You must unlock its meaning through constant practice in order to use it in a shout. Well, that is how the rest of us learn shouts. As Dragonborn, you can absorb a slain dragon's life force and knowledge directly. As part of your initiation, Master Einarth will allow you to tap into his understanding of Ro. Now, let us your unrelenting force shout to strike the targets as they appear. Yeek! Ah!
Fus, roll!
It's a little silly to be doing this after we've been shouting people to death with the frost breath for a couple days now, but, you know, gotta be done at some point.
Fus, roll!
The nice thing about this whole process is that you basically get some freebies from it.
You learn quickly. Once more.
Usually you have to find the word and a dragon soul. But,
Fus, roll!
this whole sequence skips the dragon soul part.
Impressive. Your thumb is precise. You show great promise, Dragon. We will perform your next trial in the courtyard. Follow Master Boy.
In fact, the shouts that you get from this questline are some of the most useful shouts in the game. So, if you're not like me and you don't have some sort of useless scientific curiosity to sate, then you should really come here as soon as you can.
I see that you have already begun to learn the whirlwind sprint shout. Master Bore will teach you Kest, Tempest, the third word of whirlwind sprint. You must hear the word within yourself before you can project it into a thumb. Approach Master Bore. He will gift you his knowledge now. Now we will see how quickly you can master the new word. Master Wolfgar will demonstrate whirlwind sprint. Then it will be your turn. Master Bore. Rex! Wolf! Now, your turn. Stand next to me. Master Bore will open the gate. Use your whirlwind sprint to pass through before it closes.
Hold! Now!
Your quick mastery of a new thum is astonishing. I'd heard the stories of the abilities of Dragonborn, but to see it for myself. You were given this gift by the gods for a reason. It is up to you to determine how best to use it. You are now ready for your last trial. Retrieve the horn of Jürgen Windcaller, our founder, from his tomb in the ancient fane of Ostengraf. Remain true to the way of the voice, and you will return. Wind.
So there's actually like a shit ton of stuff that you can do. Well, not do, but ask Arnir about for lore and history and backstory and stuff. Also, I think I mentioned this once in passing, but there's a special gate here. If you try to pass it, you'll take damage. If you're feeling like it, you can use that to level up your restoration a little bit. It's time consuming, but it's easier than normal. But that's enough of that. Not exactly the most scintillating thing to look at on stream. Just letting you know that you can do it if you want. Alright, so we can now fast travel to High Hrothgar whenever we want. I'm gonna want to head back to Iverstead, just to let Klimek know that we completed his delivery.
You there. You're the one they call Dragonborn? Then it is too late. The lie has already taken root in the hearts of men. So we shall expose to them the falseness in their hearts by tearing out yours, deceiver. When Lord Mirak appears, all shall bear witness. None shall stand to oppose him. Time.
Where'd you come from?
Oh, Kadi!
This encounter will only happen... Ugh. It's a little hard to fight with all the guards around. But this event will only occur if you have the Dragonborn DLC installed. It's essentially the catalyst for going to Solstheim, which is where the DLC takes place. Takes place.
I wish I could make my... Ah, good to see you again. How'd that delivery go? Quite a climb, wasn't it? Anyway, much appreciated. Here, take this for your troubles.
Anyway, I guess, in the sake of being efficient, let's just help Klimek out, because he gave us money, so he's probably a good guy.
Oh, Fastred. I'm not sure what happened. One moment she's smiling at me, the next, I can't even meet her eyes. I'll bet Bassianus would know what's going on. He understands women. What did you call me?
I didn't call you anything!
Wait, you mean I should just tell her? Tell her how I feel? Ysmir's beard, you're right. No fish was ever caught by staying away from the shore. I'm off to see her.
Weirdo. Huh. Well, can't really follow without breaking the law, so I guess we'll just have to wait.
Why are you hiding? Hiding, hide, hide, hide. Don't make me sad.
Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. Rita was here, then gone. Went to gather plants and never came home. Nope, nope. Everyone looked and no one could find her. Wilhelm said she'll be back. Told Narfi not to worry. Rita will come back. With Father, I said goodbye. With Mother, I said goodbye. Rita leaves and Narfi can't say goodbye. Makes Narfi very, very sad. Narfi needs Rita to say goodbye.
The mountain will eat you. Watch the mountain.
Uh-huh. That's Narfi. He's the resident beggar of Iverstead. He plays a semi-important role later on in a certain quest line. I say semi-important. Alright, let's see. What were we doing here? Anyway, here's Voice of the Sky in action. We can just walk right up to this nice little fella, say hello. Helps cut down on animal attacks. See? Bear doesn't even care. Hey, Bear. Certainly not something that you need to go out of your way for, but if you're making the trip anyway, you might as well take advantage of it. It's not like it's hard to read the 10 plinths. Unless you're Narfi. Then the mountain will eat you. Apparently. In each hold, you can find a camp of the opposing army inside of it, doing army things. Since the rift is controlled by the Stormcloaks, that you can find an Imperial camp up around here.
Fool?
Also, there's a dragon. And a flame Atronach? I'm a little confused by that one. As you can see, even with just the steel bolts, the Dwarven crossbow with the enhancement packs a pretty big punch against the dragon. Even with our low archery skill. Well, comparatively low. And he's over there now. I can't say no why he's over there now, but he is. Dragons just sort of do what they want. I guess he was interested in killing that saber cat.
If you think it'll help.
You can give followers different bits and pieces of gear to improve their stats, or just to have them carry it for you. I believe that there's always a skill book of some kind up there, but I'm not sure if it's always the light armor one. Ugh, shit. I feel like I hear a dragon, but I don't think there's a dragon. Oh, nope, there's a dragon. Let's demo some of the exploding bolts since we're up against yet another dragon, for some reason. I would have assumed that the one we fought down there was actually just the one that lived up here, but apparently there was just two in the area. The exploding bolts pack a bit of a punch. But they are a bit limited in number until you start crafting them yourself. They're arguably actually not that useful against dragons because they have so much health. Oh, good. It's missing textures again. Maybe it'll get textures when it lands? Right, well, since we're up here at the moment, let's go ahead and take a look at this word wall, shall we? Definitely a good reason to come by here. Another word of the Marked for Death shout, which, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the better ones in the game. Oh, there are your textures, now that you're dead. We just got 2 dragon souls in quick succession, so let's see what we can upgrade here. Interesting to note that Marked for Death and Drain Vitality actually share words. Actually, I don't think... Never mind, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, now we have all 3 words for Whirlwind Sprint, so we can go real fast if we want to. Plunging attacks are indeed not a thing in this game. I don't even think you can attack in the air for the most part.
What?
Please use Whirlwind Sprint responsibly. Alright, look, don't worry about it. It's fine. Everything's fine. We just have to kill a dragon again. It's fine. We get a better reroll on the loot. It's fine. It even has textures this time. Objectively speaking, this is a better outcome. There's honestly not a lot you can do about dragons that are in the air except just sort of trade blows with them. Until later in the game, there's not really a good way to knock them down except doing damage. And that's a little inconsistent. If you, like, shoot enough into them, they can stagger, like that. And once they're about below half health, they will usually crash land. And now the tables have turned! Alright, well, that was interesting. You can tell where a dragon crash lands because this weird sort of dirt is kicked up. Can actually make some areas kind of inaccessible if they crash in a weird spot. It's annoying. I think my drain vitality might be a little bit bugged. Imagine that. Alright, so we just have two dragon skeletons right next to each other. Totally normal. Let's try this on more even ground. Still kinda hurt, but we went pretty far.